The Kisii Governor Simba Arati has ran to China. This after the Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna and the other committee members summoned him to the Senate. Welcome to Kenyan Media, where we give you news updates as they break, and kindly consider subscribing. Now, the county government of Kisii has formally requested the Senate to postpone a meeting that was scheduled for Monday, March 2nd, 2026. Where Governor Kisii Simba Arati was expected to respond to the Auditor General's report for the 2024-2025 financial year. In a letter dated February 25th, 2026, the County Secretary and the Head of County Public Service, Ernest R. Oduor, informed the Clerk of the Senate that the Governor is currently outside the country and therefore unable to attend. The county has asked the session to be rescheduled to at the end of March 2026 to allow the governor to personally appear before the Senate committee. The request was addressed to Mr. J.M. Nyegenye, Clerk of the Senate, in reference to an earlier communication from the Senate dated February 24th, 2026. In that letter, the governor had been invited to appear before the relevant Senate committee to respond to the several audit reports concerning the county executive of Kisii. These reports relate to the financial statements of the county executive of Kisii for the financial year 2024-2025. They also include the report on the receiver of the revenue statements. Additionally, the governor was expected to respond to the report on the county revenue fund for the same financial year. These reports form part of the oversight role of the Senate over county governments. Under the Constitution, the Senate is mandated to protect the interests of the counties and to exercise oversight over national revenue allocated to county governments. When the Auditor General submits reports on county financial statements, governors may be required to appear before Senate committees to clarify issues raised, and in this case, the appearance was scheduled for Monday, March 2nd, 2026. However, in the letter signed by Ernest R. Oduor, the county secretary states that the governor remains committed to appearing before the committee. The only obstacle cited is that the governor is not in the country, that he had ran to China. The letter does not specify the country where the governor is currently located, nor the nature of his engagement abroad, but further confirmation from this channel, it indicates that Simba Arati is in China. It simply states that due to his absence, is unable to attend the March 2nd session. The county government has therefore requested that the meeting be rescheduled, preferably towards the end of the March 2026. The communication expresses regret for the inconvenience caused and also requests a positive response from the state. The letter is officially referenced to KSI CG CS CORR 110 volume XX1 and is dated February 25th, 2026. It bears official county stamps dated the same day, and such requests for postponement are not uncommon in parliamentary processes. However, the context of the meeting gives it significance. The Auditor General's report on county finances are critical oversight tools. They examine how public funds were received, managed, and spent. The identity compliance levels with the financial regulations. They also highlight any irregularities, unsupported expenditures, and weaknesses in internal controls. For residents of Kisii County, this report matter. They relate directly to how county resources are used. Funds allocated for health services, roads, water projects, agriculture, and other county functions fall under such financial statements. When questions arise in audit reports, they often require direct responses from accounting officers or the governor. The Senate committee sessions are usually detailed. Members seek clarification on figures, procurement processes, revenue collection, and expenditure trends. A governor's personal appearance can help address concerns directly. It can also provide assurance to both lawmakers and the citizens that accountability is being taken seriously. In this instance, the county secretary has emphasized that the governor remains willing to appear. The postponement request appears procedural rather than confrontational, and there is no indication in the letter of any refusal to comply. Instead, it frames the request as a matter of scheduling due to international travel, and the Senate now has the responsibility to consider the request. It may grant the postponement and issue another new date. Alternatively, it could decide on different course of action within its procedural framework. For now, there is no official response from the Senate, included in the communication. Oversight of the county finances has become increasingly visible in recent years as counties continue to manage a substantial portion of devolved funds. Public scrutiny has grown. Audit findings often generate debate at both county and national levels, and in some instances they lead a recommendation for improved financial controls, and in others they prompt deeper investigations. For Kisii County, the financial year 2024-2025 forms the focus of the current inquiry. The Auditor General's review could have examined income from national transfers, locally generated revenue, and expenditures across departments. The report on the receiver of revenue restatements specifically addresses how revenue collected by the county was recorded and managed. The report on the County Revenue Fund examines whether funds were deposited, withdrawn, and utilized in the line within the law. Such reports are technical in nature. They rely on documentation, reconciliation, and compliance checks. The Senate committee hearing allows the explanation of any audit queries, and the postponement may delay those clarifications by several weeks. For the residents of Kisii, the matter remains important. County governments are closest to the people. They manage services that directly affect daily life. Accountability at the level is essential for public trust, and the formal tone of the letter from the county secretary reflects the administrative nature of the request. It concludes with appreciation for continued support and cooperation from the Senate. It also apologizes for any inconvenience caused. As much approaches, attention now shifted to whether the Senate agrees to the proposed scheduling. It approved. The governor is expected to appear before the committee later in the month. Until then, the audit report remains part of the official parliamentary record. They await discussion and clarification. The process underscores the structured relationship between county governments and the national legislature. It reflects the checks and balances built into Kenya's devolved system of governance. While the postponement may be procedural, the issue under review are substantive. Public funds, financial management, and accountability remain at the core of the engagement. For Kisii County, the next appearance before the Senate will be an opportunity to address the findings in detail. And the Senate, it will be another exercise in the constitutional oversight role. And as the Senate awaits a new date, the message remains clear that accountability may be delayed, but it cannot be postponed indefinitely. That is all for today from Kenya Lens Media, and how Governor Arati has postponed his appearance in the Senate after being summoned. Kindly, if you are new here, consider subscribing as a way of motivating us and also helping this channel